Case file designation, Pale City. I've walked these streets long enough to know they don't forgive and they don't forget. Every favor has a price. Every truth leaves a bruise, and I'm tired of counting both. I don't look for justice anymore. I look for what's left when the lights go out. My name is Adrian Vale, and these are the case files of Pale City. Pale City didn't sleep. It lurked. It watched from rain puddles and crooked window panes, 1,000 wet eyes waiting for the moment your back turned so it could grind another soul into the gutter. I had learned that the hard way. Hell, the city had carved the lesson right into my ribs. I crushed a cigarette into the ashtray of my car, a graveyard of ashes and half-smoked regrets. The air inside was thick enough to bottle. Another night bleeding into the next. Another corpse waiting at the other end of a police radio.
Detective Vale, radio in please.
Dispatch screeched like a rusted hinge. Vale here. Hit me.
Homicide at 11,901 Crescent Moon Drive, penthouse level, Greywick Tower. Victim, Vivienne Moreau, multiple lacerations, blunt force trauma, locked room, no forced entry.
Of course it's the Greywick. The Greywick Tower wasn't a building. It was a bad habit the city couldn't quit. Locals called it the Grinning House because everybody pulled from it wore the same twisted, impossible smile. Fires that shouldn't start. Suicides that didn't match physics. Tenants vanishing between rent cycles. Serial killers, ghosts, mob safe houses, satanic hobbyists. You name the darkness. The Greywick rented it a room. So why live there? Cheap rent. And ignorance, but Pale City cured ignorance fast. To me, it was a soul-sucking silo. Another playground for nightmares waiting for you to let your guard down. And Vivienne Moreau? Just another story the building wanted to tell. He flicked on his headlights and pushed into the rain-slicked night. Steam curled out of the alleys like the city was exhaling its sins. Neon puddles trembled back at him, almost aware. Pale City. The new Hollywood, people said. Sure, if Hollywood drowned its dreamers in gin, then sold their ghosts season passes. Speakeasies hid beneath laundromats. Piano bars outnumbered gas stations. You had grimy dives where the whiskey tasted like heartbreak, and velvet palaces where crime bosses toasted to their newest star. Actors flocked here to take their shot at fame. Most just took a bullet instead. Vivienne Moreau's penthouse glittered with the kind of wealth that comes with strings attached. Strings wrapped around throats, velvet drapes, crystal decanters, perfume still floating like a ghost that hadn't realized its host was dead. And the mirrors. So many mirrors. The biggest one lay shattered across the far wall, a spiderweb of silver shards glittering like frozen lightning. I crouched beside the body. Vivienne, the city's newest nightclub darling, sprawled on the marble floor, her throat barely bruised, wrists sliced, eyes open wide enough to reflect every mistake she'd ever made. Suicide? In Pale City? In the Greywick? That's a cute story, but I'm not buying it. The marks on her neck told the truth. Someone had choked the life out of her and finished the job with a blade. But there was something else. The mirror shards. Shifted. Not moved, but shifted. As though each fragment remembered something it wasn't supposed to. Movement flickered at the corner of my eye, but stopped the second I locked my eyes on it. The room hummed like a throat clearing. I heard footsteps behind me.
Keene, reporting in?
I sighed before turning. Aria Keene. Fresh transfer from Chicago. Badge shiny, stride confident, eyes sharp enough to fill lay a liar. Headquarters sent her to learn from me. Lucky her. Pale City wasn't Chicago. Pale City was Chicago's nightmares after a 3-day bender. You're late.
I was across town, and this place is creepy.
This whole damn town is creepy. I pointed at the door latch. The victim was found with the door locked from the inside. Steel. Reinforced. Someone killed her and sealed it, somehow, on their way out.
Locked room homicide? First day? They warned me about you.
I don't attract these cases. The city does. I'm just the poor bastard stuck cleaning them up.
So, who we looking at?
I exhaled smoke toward the ceiling as she got out her notebook. Who? Half the building, probably. Tobias Crane, the building manager, hovered nearby, twitchy, eager to please, too eager. Promised access to footage, files, anything they needed. The suspects lined up like a cast auditioning for the role of the latest off-Broadway play. Marco DeLance, Vivian's ex-manager, formerly her lover. Relationship ended last week. Vivian had threatened to expose the affair to Marco's wife unless he catapulted her career. Elena Voss, a jealous backup singer with a rap sheet long enough to wrap around the block, stalking charges, threats, altercations. She left a breadcrumb trail of obsession. Julian Hart, wealthy patron, a temper, and a keycard. Lavished Vivian with gifts like he was trying to buy himself a soul. Most of those gifts now sat in her room, paid for by his account. But none of them explained the locked room, unless one of them had learned how to walk through walls. Residents reported hearing a violent argument, but no one saw a single person leave. Cameras showed only Vivian entering her room. Locked door. No exit. No shadow slipping out. No trick of the light. As the hours passed, my enthusiastic new partner dozed off in the passenger seat as I circled the city, but my mind only sharpened behind the wheel. The open road always whispered answers to me. After another lap through Pale City's veins, I dropped her at her apartment. Get some sleep, kid. Although it felt like the bags under my eyes did the talking. What I really meant was get some sleep for both of us. Arya showered off the cigarette smoke and death stink of the Greywick, but something gnawed at her. A moment from the scene. A detail she couldn't unsee. To my surprise, I would later find out that she was a better detective than I thought. That night, as she crawled into bed, opened her phone, and replayed the crime scene videos, something told her to keep looking. Then she saw it. Something that cracked the case wide open. She was up before dawn, back at the Greywick, chasing the truth. I was already there, but I wasn't alone. A shadow moved by Vivian's vanity. My hand drifted to my gun. If you want to get shot, move an inch. These things are expensive. I merely wanted them back. There's no merely at a crime scene. Julian Hart had a fistful of jewelry and a Louis Vuitton purse. You're under arrest. He froze as he looked down the barrel of a gun. Too much evidence pointed his way. Motive, access, obsession, the whole toxic cocktail. Then, a sound. A soft click from behind the wall. A hidden door creaked open.
Adrian,
Arya's voice erupted from the darkness.
get down!
I ducked just as a figure lunged from the secret passage, gun raised, eyes manic. A single gunshot cracked the air. Tobias Crane, the building manager, collapsed, his gun unfired, his secret spilling onto the marble. I wheeled toward the darkness, weapon ready. Julian panicked, dropping the jewelry and scrambling for a hidden pistol. Before he could fire, another shot exploded from the secret doorway. Julian fell backwards, dead.
Don't shoot!
Arya stepped from the shadows, gun trembling but still steady enough. All I could do is stare at her. What in the hell is going on?
It was both of them. Tobias and Julian, they killed her together.
How the hell do you know that? Arya didn't answer. She showed me. She knelt beside the mirror fragments. Her flashlight hit them just right, and the shards began to flicker. Images swirled in the glass like trapped smoke. Vivian screaming, hands grabbing her. A figure behind her, not DeLance, not Elena. Two shapes, two killers, both going into the hidden passage. They got in the same way they escaped. Arya held up one shard.
See that?
So what? Looks like a broken mirror.
Watch.
As she said that, she moved her hand. Her reflection followed, but Vivian's faint image wavered inside it. Well, ain't that some shit? Welcome to Pale City. Arya pulled up the video she had put together on her phone, digitally reassembling the shattered mirror like a jigsaw puzzle. The moment the last fragment aligned, the killer's faces emerged, clear as daylight. Arya smirked softly.
You're welcome, partner.
The sound of a match igniting killed the silence. Adrian took a long drag of his cigarette. All right, rookie. I owe you one. I told her as I glanced back at glass fragments of Vivian's tragic end. The memory of her face I seen just now, her grinning. Death would have it no other way in the place some called Grinning House. Others called it the Greywick Towers. Outside, the rain washed blood from my wingtip shoes. The Greywick Tower stood like a giant with a crooked smile, its windows glistening like watching eyes. You did good, Keen. But let me give you some advice.
Yeah?
In Pale City, the case is never really closed. Arya glanced up at the Greywick's darkened windows and swore she saw a shadow move behind the other.
Yeah. I'm starting to see that.
I was the kind of guy that expects the worst and keeps going anyway. I wasn't tough, just groomed with illusions. Hope's a dangerous habit in Pale City. I kicked it years ago, along with trusting smiles and clean endings. The job isn't about saving anyone. It's about knowing which sins are worth carrying.